Well, hi there. This is Father Jeff, as you know, and I'm really glad to have this opportunity to share a very important message with you. As you know, over the last, few months now, we've been enduring this quite severe lockdown, and this is about to come to an end to some degree. So it will be possible to start attending church again. Now, there are some details that we're not quite sure about at the moment, but we'll soon have more information. But this is to give you a little bit of warning and time to think about some really important matters. Over the course of this most recent lockdown, and indeed the one last year, the main objective of myself and the wardens and the parish council has been to keep all of our members safe and free of illness, right from those first few days when we took some measures to try and achieve that. And that to some degree, or to 100% degree actually, has been successful. And with only a couple of tiny exceptions, just one or two incidents, everyone has been so great in your responses, and you've been so incredibly cooperative, and I'm very grateful for that. It could have been much harder if people had wanted to argue about every single thing that we've done, but you haven't done that, and as I say, I'm so grateful for that, because there's been so many changes to the way that we do things. The need to regulate where people sat, and the way that we have communion, and there's been restrictions on singing, and morning teas we've had to do all differently, and of course, the last few months we've had to go back to online services. And I know that people, we're not really happy about having online services. They're not what we want, but they've been the best thing we could do, the best offering we could give. And I'm so grateful to Tiffany and Kevin, who have been working each Saturday afternoon to provide that technical assistance and the equipment that we needed to record those services. And of course to Andy and to Fabian and Peter and Kathy and Catherine and Raj, who have provided the music and the hymns. It's been a great little team. We had to have a smaller team than last year, unfortunately, but they've been so faithful and so willing to offer their services and their skills and their love to providing those services. So we're very grateful to them as well. I also want to thank Stuart, who took upon himself that role of organising the Sunday morning get-togethers. And I believe that those who've been attending that have found them really good, and that was a really good thing to be doing. As well as that, I know there's been a lot of phone calls to people to check on how they were going, and other ways of supporting each other that people have been providing to each other. So thank you for that as well. Although we probably could have done some of those things better than we have, I'm very appreciative to those people who have been making those calls and offering their assistance to each other in other ways. And what underlies all of this? Why has all that happened? Why have we gone to all these lengths to provide ways of staying in touch and continuing to worship God in that way? It's been done out of love and care for you, out of concern for you, all of our parishioners, our brothers and sisters at St Luke's. That's why we've done it. But now we're about to move on to a different stage of our life together, a very important one, and we all need each other's help in this. At this stage, it looks like, almost certain in fact, that we'll be able to get back to some kind of physical services, in-person services, on the 17th of October. That's when 70% of the adult population of New South Wales is vaccinated. That means they've had 2 doses of the vaccine. Now, there's a roadmap, as I'm sure you've heard that word, and there are 3 stages at the moment, with the first one being the 17th of October. So it's likely that we'll go back to church on the 17th. Then the second one will be on the 31st of October, when all indications are that 80% of the adult population of the state will be vaccinated. And then there's another stage we are being told that will take place on the 1st of December, when there'll be some more relaxation of restrictions. And we'll learn more about what's happening then as we go further along. But it's very important that while we're able to go back to church on the 17th, that you are aware of this. Each and every one needs to be aware of this, and if you know of people that haven't watched this broadcast, then if you can let them know, please, if they don't already know, that when we go back on the 17th, no one who is not fully vaccinated is allowed to attend. Now, that's not something that we've done at St Luke's, although the parish council was very supportive of it. But this is the health order that on the 17th, and at least on the 17th and the 24th of October, only fully vaccinated persons can attend the church in person. Now, I'm sorry if this causes you upset, but that's the health order. That's the legal requirement of the church. If we were to do otherwise, then the church could be shut down and the church fined for not going along with the health order. So if you plan to come to church on the 17th and the 24th of October at least, and I hope you do personally, then you need to be fully vaccinated. And just as an important addition to that, there is no Sunday school on these days, because under the rules that apply over these weeks, all children have to be they are not permitted to be indoors unless they're with their vaccinated parents, or a parent or parents. So they should, if there's any kids coming on those days, they need to be with vaccinated parents in church. There'll be no inside ministry with them. Another important fact that we all need to know is that everybody turning up on the 17th and the 24th of October will need to provide proof that they are vaccinated. They will need to either have something on their phone or a printed sheet to back up their vaccination status. And we don't want to have hassles at the door. So can I just say to you that we need you to have that proof. Please don't forget, and so we'll all be happy. Which brings me to, another really important matter. Now, I do realise that for all kind of reasons, some people have been not only reluctant, but been quite determined not to be vaccinated. Now, I'll share with you, I don't like needles. I had one stage of my life, I was a fainter, and I would faint getting a needle. So I'm not real great at getting needles myself. And I certainly don't like people telling me what to do. But at various stages of my life, when I've had to be vaccinated against the flu, or against whooping cough, or against malaria and those diseases that you've got to protect yourself when you go overseas, and not doing it meant that I couldn't work, or I couldn't visit my newly born grandson, or I couldn't travel overseas. I've just gone and got vaccinated with the different vaccines that have been available over the years. This time, I haven't done it for selfish reasons. This time, I've been vaccinated because of my love for you, and my responsibility for you. Because I wouldn't want to become ill and not be able to do the job that I want to do for you. And secondly, if I was carrying the illness, I wouldn't want to pass it on to you, because, we're brothers and sisters, and I wouldn't want to pass an illness onto you that could cause you to become very ill. Now, I know that vaccination doesn't provide 100% coverage. I know that. But it provides a very high level of coverage and a very high level of protection against illness and against passing it on. So I ask each one of you, if you are not yet vaccinated, please be vaccinated. If all of our people at St Luke's are vaccinated when we go back, then it will just be so much simpler for everybody. No one will be denied entry at the door. That would be terrible, to have to say you can't come in. I don't want to have to say that, and neither do the wardens or parish council or anybody that's been given that responsibility. And there will be COVID marshals at the door to check vaccination status. So we want you to be vaccinated, right? Getting your vaccination is in one way living the gospel. It's loving our neighbour in the truest sense, even more so when we're not really in favour of getting the vaccination. Getting it in those circumstances is even more loving because we're protecting each other. So that's what I'm asking you to do. But having said all that, if you have no intention of being vaccinated still, then it's important that you let me know. You are very important to us, and going forward we'll need to make provision for you to make sure that you feel welcome and cared for. It's still a part of St Luke's. Do you know what? At St Luke's, so far we've got a perfect score when it comes to making sure that our people are safe and well, and they've stayed out of hospital, they've stayed out of ICU all through this pandemic so far, and we can be really pleased about that. I think that's a great thing. So let's keep it up. Let's make sure that we get vaccinated, and we can look forward to getting back together in person as a parish family and worshipping the God who loves us and gave us his Son for the life of the world. So let's do that. There'll be more information to come, and we'll keep you informed as needed as what steps that we're taking. But that's my message to you today. If we're all vaccinated, then we'll have far fewer problems and issues dealing with those going forward. Well, may God bless you, and may I see you in church at St Luke's in the very near future. The Lord be with you.